All right, so on these plug valves, all 5 of these are gonna be the same, like I mentioned on the actuators. Your data tag's right here. It has a part number. There's a 9 million number. If you ever have to call for parts from Zurich or any information, that's the only number they need. That will tell them everything on this actuator. There's also a serial number. It tells you the size, it tells you other information on it, but as far as anybody else concerned with like Zurich, if you need any parts or anything, that's the number you're gonna need. So on these, you do have a packing gland down to this cavity here. If you've ever adjusted packing, you know if it starts to leak, slowly adjust the 2 nuts at a time. If you crank it down too tight and you go beyond it, you've ruined the packing. You can't back off at that point. So just slowly on each side until it quits dripping and stop. That's about the only maintenance you'll have to do with these, because over time, obviously that packing wears, so you just have to adjust that up. As we talked about, there will be sludge may build up in these over time. So, you know, only really just blowing them out where you can open it, running that pump full speed, pushing everything out of there, cleaning them, keeping them cleaned out would be the helpful thing. In these packets and in the O&M, there is a parts breakdown. I'll actually pull that up. I have it on my laptop here. But any parts you ever need, it will show you in that diagram, everything. So if you ever take one apart, you'll look, it tells you packing, it tells you anything in there, so you can call and say, hey, I need this part. The diagram has them labeled, so there is another label scrolling down. But yeah, it'll tell you any O-rings. So if you ever have to actually go in there and open this up, you can get any of those replacement O-rings, those parts. If you do have to open this plug valve up, of course, make sure there's no flow. Close your isolation valves. You can take this actuator off. There's 4 bolts here that unbolts this actuator. You take these 4 bolts out right here. There's 2 on top, 2 on the bottom. The actuator slide off. It's a keyed shaft. Now these particular actuators, when you look inside the actuator, there's a hole with 2 slots for that keyway. So it can go 2 ways, but obviously you take it off. Leave this closed, that closed, or open and open. Make sure they stay the same, because if one gets closed and the other one's open, well, it's not going to do nothing. You'll torque out very fast, and that's when you can start tearing stuff up. So you'll take this off, and then there's this other spacer plate here. You can take this off. There's 6 bolts. You remove it, you can get in there and adjust your packing or have to replace it over time. These big bolts here, if you take those loose, that's when you'll take the whole top of the valve off. So if it is under pressure, do not take these 6 here off. You can mess with these other ones. So if you are going to open it, like I said, close that valve, make sure none of the pumps are running, you have no pressure, and then you can take it off. Some people do that sometimes when you get trash caught in it, that's the easiest way to open them up and clean them out and get the trash and debris out of it. There's an O-ring in there. If you're careful, you can get it off and just put some grease back on it and slide it in, and it won't tear it up. But if it does get damaged, you can get replacement O-ring. I typically recommend people have an O-ring ready when they do go to open them up, just in case. That way you're not sitting here down a valve and having to try to isolate stuff while this is opened up. So. As far as, you know, the valve itself, that's pretty much it to these. There's not much to them. You'll not really have to adjust anything on the valve. Everything you have to do is in the actuator itself. So, kind of overview just that packing, about the only maintenance on these. So, any questions on the valves? Should be good.